I will say this, and you made a great point. We were talking about it earlier. That look, this is why you brought in Russell Westbrook. So when LeBron James isn't there, you still have Westbrook and Anthony Davis. Not
that
to mention
should be enough.
A nice cast of role players. They're role players, but they're a nice cast of role players around stars. But I will say this, and you can't. It just is. It is what it is, Rob. LeBron's missed half the season. So I do think, and I'm not really, I think Golden State and Phoenix are better and likely will be better at the end of this season in the Western Conference. But I do think you got to be careful making full-fledged statements on the Lakers as far as how, their season's going to end because LeBron hasn't been healthy. I want to see them with him playing, for 3 weeks straight or a month straight. And then if they're still losing, then I think you can make some statements. But, you can say things and I'll say things like the defense has been horrific. And I don't know how that's going to improve.
115 points a game. I mean, come on. That's not good enough.
Yeah, now they do play at a fast pace, but still, their defense isn't good even when you take the pace into consideration. And Rob, they're old. They have trouble staying in front of guys, and that's why their defense is so bad. Is that changing? It's not changing, And they've been a great defensive team the last 2 years with LeBron and AD, and top three both years. When they won it, they were either third. They were third, I think. And now they're 15th in defensive rating. So they got issues. And a lot of people, this happens every year, Rob, when the LeBron James team struggles, right? The coach comes under fire. And now there are rumblings, there's chatter about Frank Vogel and the job he's doing or not doing.
I heard something that Stephen A. said. Did you see that?
I didn't. What did he say?
He was saying, I'm not advocating for him to lose his job, but I think that if they continue to play poorly, he can wind up being fired and be blamed. That's all he said.
Yeah,
he didn't
he
call
could be blamed. Right.
He didn't
call for it. I don't think Frank Vogel is the problem. Now, there are things I think he's done wrong, and there are things I scratch my head about, like playing DeAndre Jordan the way he was. And we'll get to that after this sound. But LeBron was asked about it yesterday, Rob, and here's what he said.
I think criticism comes with the job. Frank is a strong-minded guy. He has a great coaching staff. And we as his players have to do a better job of going out and producing on the floor. We're a team and an organization that, that don't mind some adversity, that don't mind people, saying things about us, obviously, because it comes with the territory.
It wasn't a full-throated endorsement. That's
no endorsement there, not at all.
I don't think he killed him and threw him under the bus. So I think it'd be overboard to be like, oh, LeBron doesn't want him.
But this is what I'll say, Chris. I agree with that. But it does go both ways for coaches, and I think sometimes we lose sight of that. They won a championship, right? And Vogel was the coach. He got credit for it, right? He was the coach.
Right.
Things went well. Things worked in the bubble, Chris. Remember things that weren't working maybe the best leading up to that into the season, but they won the championship.
Right.
If you're going to give a coach credit for winning a championship when the players make the baskets and grab the rebounds and make the assists and do all the other stuff and get stops, then you can criticize a coach when the players don't do the things that you expect them to do. It's not like people are looking at the team thinking, well, if they get to 500, we'll be happy. No, that's not. It's a championship. It was put together with the thought of making a run and having a shot at a championship.
Right.
And so it is fair to criticize a coach. Whenever I hear people go, you can't blame the coach. He ain't shooting. He ain't the one not playing defense. Then don't give him credit when they win. Don't act like they don't matter. Come on, man. That's can't fair. Yeah, it's got to be both ways. So LeBron didn't kill him. LeBron could have easily said.
I think it was an honest answer, really.
Right.
It wasn't, I'm going to kiss up and act like I love him. You know what I mean? Like he's he's Red Auerbach, and I'm not going to kill him.
But he could have said, Frank Vogel's the last thing I'm worried about. We're prepared. Everything's laid out for us to do, and we haven't done our job. He could have said that. He didn't say that. So, I mean, it's out there.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Right?
Because that would have been,
that would have been end of story.
Right.
End of story.
And I think that would have been I'm not in their locker room. I don't know exactly what's going on, but, that's logical. Yeah, look, coaches.
He's laid it out. It ain't like we're unprepared.
We just ain't doing it.
It ain't like we're unprepared or we don't know what's coming or whatever. We're in the game. We're blindsided. No.
Right.
He's done all that. He's prepared us, and we haven't done our job. We haven't executed. We haven't rolled up our sleeves and played the type of Laker defense that we've done since I got here. That's all. He could have said that. Okay.
Right.
And I just saw something where I guess Charles Barkley is basically blaming and AD for the Lakers' struggles. Where are you on that? I just saw this.
Well, look, Rob, as far as AD, I want your opinion on this because I've said it on television.
This was just put out by SportsCenter. It says Charles Barkley put the blame on AD for the Lakers' struggle and came to the defense of Frank Vogel.
Here's what I'll say quickly about Vogel before I get to AD.
Okay.
Vogel's a solid coach. He's not terrific. He's not bad. He's solid, right? And they won a championship with him. Whether you think he deserved a ton of credit for that or not, he gets credit, and I think that should buy him time, right? He should get a legitimate chance with this team because he showed he can win a championship with these guys.
That wasn't 10 years
now,
ago.
Rob, I also think this. I think Tyronn Lue is a better coach.
No doubt about it.
Right? They made a mistake.
They made a mistake. They were haggling over a couple of pennies.
Yep.
And I call them pennies in the NBA with the kind of money being thrown around. Seriously.
Yep.
And we saw what Ty Lue, Chris, he was on a stage, no Kawhi Leonard, got the team to the Western Conference Finals. That's basically a similar team that Doc Rivers had that choked, and he was willing to sit people down. It wasn't like he just threw the balls out there. He made changes. Patrick Beverley, come sit down.
He's
right?
shown that he can win when they're shorthanded. And I use the word mistake. Let me backtrack because it's hard to say it was a mistake.
But I know what you mean.
When they won the championship with Vogel. So I'll back off on that. But I think Ty Lue's a better coach, and I think right now they'd be in a better position if they had Ty Lue. All right, so I'll say that. Now, as far as Anthony Davis, Rob, here's what I think about Anthony Davis. He is a number one talent, meaning he's got the talent and the ability to be a number one guy, to carry a franchise, to, be that guy that can lead them to championships. He doesn't have a number one mentality or approach to the game. He's got a number two mentality. So he's a second guy. And Rob, there have been a lot of great Hall of Fame players who are like that.
That might just be his personality, Chris.
I do think it's his personality.
Right.
He's not that guy, and that's why, Rob, he hasn't taken over. And you know this too, Rob. AD, and I know he wants to win, but he strikes me as a guy that he's content with his place in the game. He was named all top 75 ever. Going to be a Hall of Famer. Got a championship. Always going to make the All-Star team, in his prime.
And you're right. We talked about this after they won. We thought now he could put his foot on the gas after that year. Like, I got a championship. I could just go out there. Now I could rack up some MVPs.
Right.
I could just play.
About my legacy. It's about my legacy.
Right. Now I could just build my resume after that. And you know what? Maybe I might win another one, Chris, or 3. I might be 3-0.
Right.
And in my finals, and people look at me, and I got 3 MVPs and 3 championships. I never lost. There's a lot of stuff that could have been, and you put up some numbers. He came out the next year. Remember,
his
out
worst
of shape.
Season, Rob, since his rookie year.
Yeah, I remember he was out of shape. He just didn't look like he was into it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I say this all the time, Rob. You can tell guys, there are guys that like the game and there are guys that love the game. There might even be some guys that don't really like the game. But the guys that like it or don't like it, they love what it brings. The money, the women, the fame, all that, right? And there are people like that in every field of endeavor, Rob.
Sports
and
writers
I think
included.
one way to tell them, right, is when a guy gets a contract, when he gets that big contract, does he continue to work and improve? Or is he rest, you know?
Or is he good?
And then in this case with AD, you might say he got that championship, and did he continue growing and striving like LeBron and Kobe and guys like that, or did he kind of relax?
Right.
I think so far you'd have to say he's relaxed.